Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Well, I know people click on controversial thumbnails. I know you do. And I have made a previous Chibson video. My name's Paul, everyone. This is Mono Studios. I make custom one-off guitars. Sometimes silly, sometimes inspired by famous people's guitars. But either way, cool projects that people can come along and watch week by week. Early on in my YouTube career, I thought it'd be a good idea to make a video on my Chibson. A, because sneakily I thought it'd get lots of views and might help my subscriber count in the early days, and it did. Bit of a lost leader in the end because my regular viewers, very few of them come here because of that. They come to watch me build guitars, not to talk about cheap Chinese knockoffs. But I've seen a couple of things and I've heard a couple of things recently that's just made me revisit this guitar. If you haven't seen the first video, I bought this off a friend. He didn't really know what to do with it. It played like a piece of shit, usual story. And I was just interested in seeing how good I could make it play without spending any money, just a bit of time. Conclusion, in a nutshell, it's lovely, plays fine. Neck straight, frets are level, didn't take me very long, plays very nicely. Well above its station. So there you go, there's a story. But that is not the conclusion that I came to after making that video. I'll fire on, because this is an interesting topic. What that video taught me was not about cheap Chinese knockoffs. There's lots of bullshit on the internet. It taught me more about you.
Here we go.
It taught me more about viewers, guitar owners, guitar buyers and collectors and all the rest of it. So I just want to talk about some of the things that I read in the comment section, because a lot of it was fucking alarming. It was alarming. On a side note, I should add, while I'm editing this, no disagreement has ever, in the history of the internet, been solved in the comment section. So if you're battling away trying to change the world, you're not. You're just not. You just got to get your head around the fact that people do things differently to you. That was a bit of wisdom, wasn't it? Fucking hell. To pry that one out from the depths. The first thing I'm going to raise is going to piss a lot of you off, but it's the biggest thing that I noticed, and let's run through it. The number one comment, interestingly, was it's a great guitar to buy, to work on and learn how to set up a guitar because it's minimal risk. It doesn't matter. If you fuck it up, you can throw it away. That is true. Of course it's true. It's basically what I just did. However, you could do that on any £250 guitar, and let's be honest, most guitars for £250 do require that doing. Exactly the same as the Chibson. So it's not really a reason to buy a Chibson, is it? The second reason is that people want to play on stage. They want a guitar that doesn't matter if it gets damaged. They can smash it around. No one really knows the difference on stage, so they throw it around. Also, you could do that with any £250 Epiphone. You could do it, or any other brand of guitar. It doesn't have to be a Chibson. So it is a reason, but it's not a reason to buy the Chibson. So here's what I've concluded. People that buy Chibsons with the name on the headstock, they want that name on the headstock.
Goddamn right.
They're not complaining, oh, it's a fake, oh. They want it on there. They want it on there. And between you and me, I don't give a single fuck. Look around you. Copyright infringement is everywhere. The Chinese have knocked off everything in your life apart from the wife. And even that might be coming. So I'm not going to get my bee in a bonnet about a knockoff guitar. I'm not. Should you buy one? No. It's morally wrong. Of course it's morally wrong. There's no discussion there. Some people commented, well, if you can't afford a Gibson, you shouldn't buy one with a Gibson on it. Well, you can afford a Gibson, which is why you've got that opinion. There are thousands, if not millions of people, some of them great musicians in the world, that will never have the money. They'll never have $800 to buy a Gibson guitar. They might be struggling to feed the kids. Can they buy a $100 Chibson instead of a $100 Epiphone? Yeah, they can. Of course they can. And they can love it and cherish it, perhaps play it better than you do your £5,000 custom shop. That's just a fact. You have to see the world through other people's eyes. Not everyone is you. Some people are very disadvantaged. Some people just like a little bit of criminality. They might be upholding citizens, but they still want to buy a Chibson because they're a little bit naughty and they're not allowed to get away with much because their missus clamps down on all misbehaviour. No. We all know that guy. We definitely know that guy. So why have I come back to make this video? Well, I watched this video from a guy called Matthias. It was a good video. It didn't answer all the questions I thought. It raised more questions than it gave me answers, but I appreciated the video. So thank you, Matthias. If you watched this video, thank you for yours. I did appreciate it. It showed a big factory, people knocking out husks, some completed sneaky little ones in the background. So it was clearly a place where they were making counterfeit goods. China has been manufacturing guitars for big companies for decades. The skill set and the workforce and the ability to mass produce guitars over there is just huge. So it's no wonder in a country where they do not give a shit about copyright infringement that they mass produce fake guitars like they mass produce fake everything. So on Amazon, eBay, whatever you want, you can get a knockoff version. That's not internet myths, that's just facts. If you go on a website like Pango, which I recently discovered in me doing a bit of homework, you can see on there loads of husks. People that buy the guitars from the big manufacturers over there, and they haven't got a name on the headstock. They've got open book headstock shapes, which is also copyright infringement. People don't seem to get a bee in their bonnet about that so much. They say, oh, I've ordered it without the name on the headstock, so that's all fine. It's still an illegal counterfeit guitar, even because of the open book headstock. We all know that, we all know these things. But what that does indicate is that the people that actually finish these guitars, they are many, which is why the quality of a Chibson, there's so much disparity. There's Facebook groups of people that buy Chibsons from people that they know create good guitars. And they import big batches of them and they get together and they order shitloads of them and they get sold everywhere by people that just genuinely want a Chibson. They do. They want that name on the headstock. They don't give a shit about your feelings. They don't give a shit about Gibson's feelings, that's for sure. A lot of people are very cross at Gibson because of rising prices, quality issues and all the rest of it. If there's a story out there, you've heard it, you've read it. Some of it is complete bullshit. My favourite comments are, these guitars are actually made by Gibson and Epiphone themselves to corner some side of the market that we're all unaware of, and I'm pretty sure that's bullshit. We'll never know. You'll never know the answers to any of these questions. That's what you've got to get your head round. The other one is that these guitars, if you buy a Chibson, you're aiding criminal enterprises in China. Well, I'm pretty sure there's more money in drugs and human trafficking than there is in creating a handful of guitars every year. I think there's lots of independent sellers, all on AliExpress, the most under-regulated shopping service in the world, and they can all get their hands on these husks, and there's lots of skilled people that can finish guitars to this standard, and that's what's happening. They're coming from everywhere. People that comment on my videos and watch week by week, 4,000 or 5,000 people a week tune in to watch me build guitars. The comment section is a thing of beauty. It stands alone on the internet, which is awash with dickheads. 99.9% of the people that watch my videos and comment are legendary. And I appreciate you if any of you are watching this fluff piece, because let's be honest, it's a fluff piece. The comment section on the Chibson video, however, was the only time, the first and only time I've had to delete comments because some of you were fucking horrible to each other. Like, just unnecessarily horrible. And also hid a few people from the channel. I've never had to do that before. People get very, very emotional about Chibsons. And I'm here to tell you that that emotion is a complete waste of your life force. Don't even bother. The biggest and most overwhelming comment was people that bought these guitars as an upgrade path. So to reiterate, there are certain models you can buy that you can't buy from Gibson. Some people want a greeny guitar. That's 1,800 quid just for the Epiphone now. People don't want to pay that, but they want to do a bit of Kurt Hamnet or Gary Moore, whoever your favourite greeny owner was. They buy it as an upgrade path. Could you do that to an Epiphone? Yeah, you could, but they want Gibson on the headstock. They might not admit that. If that's you, anyone, and you've bought this as an upgrade path, you don't have to comment. You don't have to acknowledge what I'm saying. It's fine. I don't care. I'm making this video basically to tell people you shouldn't care. It's because it's a waste of time. A good guitar for me has to give me some sort of emotional response. I've got to see it and think, wow, a little bit just came out. Second thing, can I straighten the neck? And have I got level and polished frets? If you've got a straight neck and level and polished frets and it doesn't weigh as much as a house, you've got a great guitar. Electronics can be changed. Humbuckers, even the shittest humbuckers, can still sound nice. You don't have to spend £500 on a set of humbuckers for them to sound great. That's another internet myth. We listen with our eyes. We're all guilty of it. We're all got a bit of brand snobbery in us. I've largely trained that out of myself now because I've seen so many guitars that I know that a lot of the time it's bullshit. I just replaced the firebuckers in my little headless telly epoxy barrel thing. If you want to watch that being made, go and watch that video series. That's what we normally do around here. We make one-off mental guitars. These are Warman, way better than the pickups I took out of it. Way better. 41 quid for a pair. Fuck off. So let's get out 3 guitars, a real Gibby, a real Epi, and a Chibi. A little look at some of the differences. Just a little look, a taster. I won't bore you. Camera magic, ready? And we're back. Here's my 3 guitars. I thought I'd get them in a video before I flog them. We've got the Chibi. It's not fooling anyone, unless you know nothing about guitars. My Les Paul Tribute, which is a studio, I think it's a 60s tribute. Spanking guitar, very nice. Never done any work on it. I bought it as a reference guitar for something else I was building a while back. I don't love it, but it is a lovely guitar, undeniably. Is it better than this guitar? Of course it's better than this guitar. What makes it better than this guitar? Well, that's debatable, isn't it? Then we've got, I think it's a 2001 Zakk Wylde Epi, which I bought as a nostalgia thing, but I'm going to sell it because, again, I did think I might keep these guitars and collect them down in the cellar, down in Fritzl's basement. That's a long story, but I'm not going to do that. That's pointless. I tend to build guitars, I scratch the itch, I get them out the workshop. Everything I build is commission based. I get to enjoy a new guitar once or twice a month for a couple of weeks in my house. That's nice, and I'll send her on her way. So I'm a catch and release collector, if anything, and these are being released. Gibson humbuckers, undoubtedly one of my favourite humbuckers in the world. They are lovely. I have got a very interesting story, which is another reason I'm making this video, because we do hear things with our eyes, which is a fucked up thing to say, but it's very true. So have a little think about that when I say it. I was servicing a guitar for someone, tone pot wasn't working on his Les Paul. It was only a studio, tone pot wasn't working when he rolled it off. Bring it over to the workshop. I don't do setups and maintenance for people, but he's a good friend. Brought it over, took the back off. Instantly, someone had replaced, and you can see on AliExpress, you can buy Epiphone Pro buckers, and they come with a wiring loom. They had replaced everything in his studio with one of those kits, 35 quid. I think Gibson humbuckers are almost 500 quid for a pair. They're spanking. That's without the wiring loom and everything. The Epiphone ones in there, you would never have known. They sounded lovely. I don't even know if they were real Epiphone humbuckers. They're AliExpress. They could have been made out of underpants, but they were lovely. After that, he no longer liked the tone of those humbuckers. So what does that tell you? They still sounded fine to me, but they weren't the Gibson ones. So he got ripped off by someone buying a real Gibson who'd swapped out the electronic. He'd had that guitar for like 18 months. He lost a lot of money on that. So you can be duped to buying the real thing as well. People aren't just buying Chibsons to rip people off. They're stripping out the electronics from real guitars and probably selling them separately as well. There's hazards everywhere on the internet. So this is a 2008 Tribute. It's a lovely guitar. I paid £850 second hand for it. It is a fantastic guitar. It's not big money. This is what would have been considered in 2001 on a par with what Epiphone are now selling for 1,800 quid. That was one of the top of the line, the Zakk Wylde. I mean, it was a hell of a popular, wasn't it? Full active EMGs in it, which you'll hear a little bit different in the crap samples I do. But more importantly, they're all recorded through the same PC, through the same audio interface. So for anyone who's interested, I'll be filming everything today and recording everything using my Kemper Profiler, which just happens to be a Spark Go mini thing, which uses an audio interface, brilliant through the PC, great bit of kit. I'll do some samples. Don't knock me on me playing. I'm not as good a player as I am a maker. And I promise you, I can make a good guitar. Another comment I got, let's digress, let's pull it back. There's a lot of talking in this video, innit? Fucking sorry about that. Another comment that I got, these have got poor woods in it. That's a mahogany back, multi-piece. It is multi-piece. Lovely straight grain. The neck's lovely. I've taken the gloss off it because I don't like glossy necks, and I'm keeping this one. This is just a workshop reference guitar. I like this because it's light as well. Some people moan that Chibsons are light, so they must be shit. But for as far as I can remember, people are on a quest to find the lightest Les Paul because they weigh as much as a bag of plaster. Bag of mud for the Americans over there. This undoubtedly is a photo of some wood or a very, very thin veneer. That has got not a flame maple top. It's one of the things I like about this one. But it's got a solid maple cap. Of course it has. Mahogany back and sides. Very nice. Very similar grain. Nothing really matches. Cool guitar. Don't like the red finish. This thing's all maple. Very, very heavy. Lots of embellishments on it. It's a cool guitar. What makes them great? It's up to you. I would argue visually is what makes it great. Can you afford it? Can you love it? Can someone love that guitar as much as anyone can love a £10,000 Gibson guitar? Yes, they fucking can. And if they do, it's none of your business. You cannot win the war against Chibson. You can't. They're everywhere. They've been coming out for years. They shot themselves in the foot by selling shit ones for such a long time. That's where that bad reputation's gone. People say, oh, they should just sell them without the name on the headstock, but then they would be just any other real low brand seller. If they put Chibson on the headstock, they've got a leg up on all of them because, like I said, people are buying them because that is on there. That's a horrible truth. It's very true though. If you don't want to watch guitars being built, for fuck's sake, don't subscribe based on what you're watching now. I'm just having a rant. I'm getting a few things off my chest because it's interesting. It's more of a social experiment than anything else. I honestly don't care what people's views are. You shouldn't care what my view is. It's all irrelevant. I use the comment section as though I'm talking to someone in the pub. I would never give someone a big load of bollocks and abuse. I treat everyone with respect until they give me a reason not to. That's how you should approach everyone in life. So the comment section in this video, I won't be spending too much time looking at it because my regular viewers, like I said, I love them. So to summarize this video, there are no answers. You will never know the truth about how many people make Chibsons. You will never know the absolute truth about where they come from in China, who's mass producing them, who imports them with such ease. You will never know the truth about AliExpress and all the individual sellers. The only thing you can do is educate yourselves and educate other people so that you won't be duped on the internet. And like I said earlier on, you could be duped buying the real thing. Buy the guitar that you love, people. Buy the guitar that you can go and play. If that happens to be a Chibson, fucking good on you. Go and enjoy your life, all right? I'm pretty sure I've finished ranting. I've got that off my chest. I've filmed this video a couple of times. I'm never going to make a Chibson video again. I'll probably watch some on the internet because I like the mystery. I enjoy the mystery. If I get a few answers, normally it just raises more questions. That's fine with me. If you like the video, give it a like. You can share it if you want. Don't subscribe off the back of this if you're not interested in watching guitars being built because it's a fake subscription and you won't come back and watch every week. What's the fucking point of that? But I do appreciate the sentiment. Leave a comment. Make sure it's kind though. No one likes a cunt.